There's magic in your backyard. Go and find it!
We'll head around to all the towns, head away, holiday. South Aussie with Cosi's on sit down. South Aussie with Cosi. In South Australia we will go, head away, holiday. South Australia all the way, South Aussie with Cosi.
Well, g'day there and welcome to another episode of South Aussie with Cosi. My name's Cosi and I tell you, my gig's about getting you guys excited about exploring your own backyard of South Australia. I grew up in regional South Australia. I've spent 35 years out here. I know how good it is. It's like I've kind of got this knowledge that I just want to share with you. If only you knew how beautiful places like this is here. We're here in Kangaroo Island. This place is called the Platypus Walk. Now, we just spotted a very rare platypus. There's only like 120, 130 on the island over there. Unfortunately, we didn't get a shot of it because we were filming fungus at the same time. But anyway, huge show. We'll come back to Kangaroo Island in a minute. But first up, let's take a look at what's on the show. We visit the largest metro council in Adelaide, that's the city of Onkaparinga. And did you know there's an opal mine in Rundle Mall? And you can visit it for free. That's a bargain. And we'll name AFL star Gavin Wanganeen as our mighty South Aussie, as opposed to Father of the Year. How pretty is this? It's the Platypus Walk in Kangaroo Island. You know, Kangaroo Island is over 150 kilometres long, just a gorgeous place. This Platypus Walk is where you'll see up to around 200 platypuses that live here. Very hard to spot, mind you. But before we have a look around and see if we can't find one and learn a bit more about this area, let's learn about the importance, I'm starting to lecture you guys, let's learn about the importance of why they got rid of all the feral goats. Well, almost all of them.
Goats have been on the island for nearly 200 years. They came pre-official settlement with the sealers and the whalers. They, clearly needed them for meat and skins and milk. So they've been here for a very long time. Before we started the program, we took some photos of caves, for instance. And in those caves, the goats had totally denuded the whole area of vegetation. There was just nothing there. Within 6 years, those caves are completely full of vegetation. So the goats have completely eaten it out. And on the north coast, all the casuarinas are just coming back. The little seedlings are being successful before the goats would have eaten them off as they went through. And now you have, these forests of casuarinas coming up. So, and that's just a couple of examples of plants that are doing really well. So we could have quite a change in the whole vegetation structure.
So the question is, how do you get rid of feral goats in KI?
Well, in the past, a lot of people have tried to get rid of goats, and they get rid of most of them except the last ones. The best way to get rid of every single individual is to employ Judas goats. And a Judas goat is a goat with a collar, and it sends out a pulse, and so you can radio track your way to the goat. The Judas goat, because they're a gregarious species, they always try to find their mates. They'll go and find their mates, and then we go and find that goat, and then you get rid of all the other goats with it. And then when it's lonely again, it will go and find the next group of goats, and so it goes. That's why they're called Judas goats. We've taken out close on 1,200 goats now, and we have 7 left. However, it is a breeding population, so it can increase. The reason we have these 7 goats left is because they're living in vegetation like this, and for the guys to get through that vegetation is really difficult. It's taking us a long time to get the last few goats.
How's that? There are only 7 feral goats left in Kangaroo Island, and folks, here they are. Have a look at them. They have been photographed using motion-censored cameras that are left out in the bush for months at a time to track where the goats are. These 7 goats are the smartest of all of them because they've been avoiding capture. Have a look at this guy. Hello there, you'll never catch me. I hate his arrogance.
We're so fortunate on Kangaroo Island. Being an island, we can keep feral animals off. And the 2 animals that we've been successful at keeping off to date are the foxes and the rabbits. And because of that, we have abundant wildlife. A lot of the species, like the little wallabies we have here, they're eaten by foxes, and on the mainland they used to be right along the southern coast, and they're not now. If you come to Kangaroo Island, you can see what wildlife would have been like on the mainland 200 years ago.
We better wrap up this interview because I just let my pregnant rabbit Snowy go for a walk in the picnic area, so I better sneak off for a minute. Minus feral animals, tourism in Kangaroo Island booms in areas like the Platypus Walk, which is located on the far western side of KI.
Platypuses are actually introduced to Kangaroo Island back in the 1920s, so they brought us around 15 to 20 over to the island to help conserve the species, and so over the many decades the numbers are growing up to sort of around 200 to date.
Now, I'm not going to lie to you, spotting a platypus can be very challenging. They tell me the best time to come here to find one is just after sunup and just before sunset.
One interesting thing about platypus is actually the fur that they've got over their whole body. It's really dense, very dense fur. They say it's even denser than polar bear fur. And I guess as an example of that, the fur itself, they've recorded that you can have individual hairs that are over 900 hairs per square millimetre of skin on the platypus. So that helps obviously for insulation and keeping them warm when they're in the cold water in winter.
I was saying to the park ranger, what they need here for those that don't see a platypus is like maybe something where you like drop 20 cents in, you know, like at Murray Bridge with the big bunyip that comes up. These guys like have a massive platypus that comes up, like a fake one. Something for the kids. Now that's an idea. For more information on the Platypus Walk and goat eradication in Kangaroo Island, head to the website. Hey, a quick thanks to this bloke right here, SA legend Shane Yeen, for lending me his time, knowledge and also his resources. Thanks, mate.
South Aussie with Cosi. South Aussie with Cosi.
The Rundle Mall has, and I think always will be, the heart of South Australia and more importantly, Adelaide. Do you know it was opened in 1976 by the then Premier Don Dunstan? Here's how they opened it in true South Australian style.
The mall, which has cost the South Australian Government, the Adelaide City Council and the Rundle Street Traders about $1.2 million, is undoubtedly the biggest and best shopping and public recreation area of its kind in Australia.
This is a tremendous day for Adelaide, because at last we've accomplished what people have been talking about in Adelaide for a very long time.
You know the old fountain that sits at the front of Adelaide Arcade there? Well, the first thing that ever pumped through that fountain was 80 litres of Thomas Hardy champagne, and they did that on the opening of Rundle Mall in 1976 with 10,000 people crammed into this mall to watch. Still today, the mall's absolutely fantastic, and it is the most visited tourist attraction in South Australia.
When you're coming into the mall, plan for a big day out. There's all sorts of things to see and do, whether it's a decent lunch, lots of arcades and laneways. There's always new shops popping up and plenty of fashion to check out. So it's not all about the big spends. There's also lots of little things to discover as well.
Here at Unique Opal and Diamond Manufacturers, we're one of Adelaide's leading manufacturers of opal jewellery. We do all the work here in the premises. My partner and I are both opal cutters and jewellers, so we do the whole process from the ground up, literally. We offer opal cutting demonstrations down here. Pretty much every day that we're open, at least one of us is manufacturing, so there's always something to look at. People don't realise that there's actually an underground mine in Rundle Mall. People are blown away. People that have lived here all their life, they walk past and they never realise there was a mine here. So it's free to come in. It's great in school holidays. The kids come down, they love it. Yeah, it's just a great experience.
You'd have to say the most famous piece of public art in the mall would be the mall's balls, but these guys are a very close second. Now, we all know where the pigs are in the mall, but excuse me, young fella, do you know their names? Well, this one here, this is Truffles. This, of course, is Horatio. The one by the bin, this is Oliver. And what's your name? Yeah, you're just hiding behind the pig. And this over here, giddy up cowgirls, this is Augusta.
There's lots of great things about the Rundle Mall. The heritage architecture is excellent, but got to tell you, James Place is on the rise. Heaps of funky little cafes, great outdoor dining culture, and it's always a great place to get a cheap, quality eat.
Ken Plus and I are on the hunt for the best photographs taken in South Australia. Righto, let's have a look at some. Alex has nailed this shot of semaphore. Hendrika took this photo in the Flinders Ranges. She must have been dating Steve up there because he took this shot up in Parachilna. I love a canola photo. Mazarina took this one. Nathan was in Second Valley taking photos of the jetty. And Emma, well, she was hanging out with cows made right here in South Australia. Hey, have you got a great snap of South Australia? We'll send your photos into chemplus.com.au and you could share in over $3,000 worth of prizes, including free SA holidays. Plus, your photo could even be chosen to appear on the ChemPlus calendar or in the ChemPlus catalogue and be seen by thousands. Enter online at chemplus.com.au. Do you know there's over 60 ChemPlus locations all over South Australia? Your community, your ChemPlus.
South Aussie with Cosi. South Aussie with Cosi.
On my Facebook pages, there's over 80,000 passionate South Australians. And one question I get asked all the time via personal messages is, where can you take a big group of people? I'm talking about like a 40th or 50th birthday, a family reunion. People want an accommodation place that holds big numbers. Well, my old stomping ground of the Copper Triangle has a location that I think you guys are going to love. It's called See You at Wallaroo. This place holds up to 70 adults, and best of all, it's only $40 a head. It's got to be the perfect party place for your next major event, and having all the crew staying together means that you can supply your own food and grog. That means no taxis are needed. That's saving plenty of money. Plus, it's really easy if you're taking the kids, you can put the kids to bed while you can continue your night out with your friends and family. This place has got a fully set up commercial kitchen. I mean, have a look at that. You can watch a footy game using the projector that's got a screen 4 metres by 3 metres. They got a massive outdoor area, loads of car parks, and it's only 1.5 hours from the city. But best of all, folks, is the cost. I mean, you're looking at getting this place for as cheap as $40 a head per night. Plus, for a little bit extra, See You at Wallaroo will also do the catering for you as well. This would be perfect for school groups, camps, all that kind of thing as well. For more information, head to wallaroo.net.au. Do you deserve a free holiday? Of course you do. Then you better like the South Aussie with Cosi Facebook page because we've got 10 to give away, including a stay up in the Adelaide Hills at the Divine House Studio Apartments located in Hahndorf. Forget the hills as a day trip. Come and stay and come and play. That's what the house is all about. The studio apartments are located only 50 metres from the main street of Hahndorf. You could be enjoying a free night in an apartment plus a cooked breakfast across the road at the house cafe, bar and kitchen. They don't just do the best brekkie in the hills, they've also got the largest selection of German beers as well. Al fresco dining in summer or fireside in winter, you're going to enjoy it year round at the house. Just like the South Aussie with Cosi Facebook page and enter. Gavin Adrian Wanganeen is a legendary AFL footy star. He was born in 1973 and 20 years later, he jagged himself a Brownlow. Let's find out what this baby-catching superstar and his darling wife love about living in South Australia.
We went to Port Victoria for Easter, and there's an island there called Wardang Island, and it's really special. It's, yeah, Gavin's been going there since he was a child, and yeah, we camped on the beach there, and it was absolutely magic. I think that Adelaide's the world's best kept secret. You know, from cafes and restaurants, from the ease of getting around, the quality of lifestyle we enjoy here, the wine regions and also the beautiful beaches. It's just magic.
And now the Adelaide Oval's the best stadium in the world.
Yeah,
can't beat it. The clean beaches, the produce everywhere you go is always up to scratch.
Fresh seafood.
Fresh seafood, you can't beat that.
Especially when you catch it.
Yeah, especially when it's fresh and I catch it. But look, we're proud South Australians and we love our state.
When you're visiting the city of Onkaparinga, stop number 1 has got to really be right here. It's in McLaren Vale and it is the Visitor Information Centre. Backed on beautiful vineyards, you can sit here, have a wine, do what you like. When you come here, pick up one of these. It's the Visitor Guide. It's free and it shows you all the places to go and stay in this area. Oh yeah, and there's one really cool thing. Come with me, check this out, check this out. It's even got its own playground.
My river's running through your soul, I'm sold. I'm not for sale, cause you know I'm sold. These shoes for me are sweet, you know I'm sweet, I'm sold. I'm sold.
Then
And we've got the hotels and pubs, the restaurants and the cafes, and whether they do lunch and dinner or breakfast and lunch, and the phone number's there if you want to make a booking. So
fabulous. Internationally renowned McLaren Vale was established in 1838 and was one of the first wine regions to be planted in South Australia. The region boasts over, get this, 74 cellar doors open to the public year-round, and it's not uncommon for the winemaker to pop up and make an appearance. A great way of experiencing the city of Onkaparinga is by bike, letting you enjoy the great food, wine and art from coast to valley in amongst the vines. Bring your bike, or you can hire one when you get here. Coming up next, we'll find out why this area has the highest population of artists per capita in Australia.
South Aussie with Cosi. South Aussie with Cosi.
The city of Onkaparinga is the largest metro council in all of Adelaide. It also boasts 31 kilometres of coastline, and have a look at what sort of coastline we're talking about. It is very, very impressive. It is not only the largest council in the whole of Adelaide, it also is the gateway to the beautiful Fleurieu Peninsula. But that's not all this place boasts. It also has one of the best playgrounds in SA. Jubilee Playground, also fondly known as the Wooden or Fort Playground in Port Noarlunga. Did you know the story behind this playground? Well, the local community combined their efforts to create a maze of wonderful wooden tunnels and play equipment for kids to play, climb, explore, hide, slide and swing. It is a kid's paradise, and it was made by the community. In fact, this whole region is filled with beautiful reserves and playgrounds, including Rotary Park along Beach Road in Christie's Beach. Did you know that the city of Onkaparinga has the highest concentration per capita of artists in anywhere across all of Australia? And Port Noarlunga here, well, it is the hub of all things art, and art is something Robert here knows plenty about.
The special thing about South Australia is that we have a long association with the visual arts and also the performing arts here. And the photographers that are coming out of Australia and also moving to Adelaide to live are some remarkable people. So there's a community of photographers, and they're working photographers, but they're also artists in their own way.
But Rob, tell me, why are there so many artists south of the city?
Well, I'd like to say it's the water, but I think it's just that this is such a livable area. You know, it's such a beautiful physical environment, and it's relaxed. But people also work hard here, so you have that nice blending of contemplation and activity. From my point of view, it's a very pleasant part of the world.
It's not just the art this region's famous for. It's got amazing, fresh, clean, local produce. The region's well known for producing premium olive oil, almonds, and is also home to a host of gourmet foods made with local produce, many of which are available weekly at the Noarlunga Farmers Market, which actually was SA's first farmers market. And there's also plenty of local produce used at the famous Red Poles.
We started in 2005 with what was going to be just a bit of an art gallery and a little bit of a cafe selling muffins and coffees, and within a few months we started growing into what we are today. So we're now an art gallery, full licensed restaurant. We have a cellar door for Brick Kiln wines and for Vale Ale beers. We have workshops here, and we do weddings here and private functions, and a B&B. So basically you can do it all. Red Poles is most famous for being a really ambient place to come. It's great for families, it's great for children. We have fantastic local food. We have a wonderful chef and a great kitchen. We have live music and we promote the arts a lot. So Red Poles is famous for food, wine, art and ale.
Okay, guys. Thank you. Thank you very much.
The City of Onkaparinga hosts heaps of events during the year, including the famous Stage 5 of the Santos Tour Down Under, SA's longest silver servers dinner, hard to say with a lisp, on Port Wollonga Beach. Now, I went to this last year, and hear me here, this was the best event my wife and I have been to in South Australia. I mean, have a look at these photos, it's unreal. SA's first international sand sculpture exhibition's also held here, plus plenty more. For more information about upcoming events in this stunning region, just head to the website. Well, folks, that's all we've got time for. I hope I've helped you learn to love your state just that little bit more. You know, it's a pretty special spot we live in here in South Australia, and I'm damn proud to be a South Aussie. Help me spread the word, invite some of your interstate friends or overseas friends to our state and get them spending their tourist dollars here, because that means more jobs for us. I'll see you on the road somewhere. Hooroo! Thanks to our sponsors, including Metro, Holden, Port Road, Thebarton. They've been driving our show for 4 years, doing servicing and repairs for all vehicles, not just Holdens. The House, Cafe, Bar, Kitchen and Studio Apartments. Come and stay, come and play in the heart of Harndorf. Rundle Mall, the centre of the city with over 700 shops and a brand new mall coming very soon. And of course, SA Tourism. Check out southaustralia.com.